Hello and welcome to another video on the channel. Today I will show you how to organize your finances in a simple and efficient way. If your financial life looks like a cluttered closet where you can't open the door because everything will fall out, stay with me. Stay with me until the end of the video because for today our goal is to clean up. Let's separate what's worth keeping from what is garbage and put everything away in boxes. Understood? This will allow you to track how much is coming in and going out and create an efficient plan to achieve your money goals. And for that, we will use the 70-30 rule, which works like this. 70% of your monthly income will be allocated for you to spend on everything that matters to you in the present. Exactly. This money is meant to cover your current costs. However, expenses fall into several categories which, if we look at them closely, can be separated into essentials and non-essentials. So this is how we will allocate the 70%. 50% of your monthly income will go towards essential expenses. These expenses are simply things that you can't live without, such as housing, food, taxes, healthcare. Some of these expenses can vary depending on where you live and what's your lifestyle. So it may change from person to person. For example, having a car may be essential for you, but it's not for me. So it won't be a part of my list. On the other hand, my job offers me a health plan, but yours doesn't. So you will have to add that to your list. Got it? And I know what you might be thinking. I'm never going to be able to save 50% of my salary to cover my necessities. Here's the thing, let me show you something. Do you own real estate or are you aware of the process of applying for a mortgage loan? I will use this as an example so you can understand my point. When you apply for a mortgage loan here in the United States, the bank will ensure that the cost of the mortgage, house insurance, HOA fees, and taxes do not exceed 28% of your monthly income. Moreover, the bank will also ensure that other loans and debts like car, credit cards, student loans, etc., combined with housing costs won't exceed 36% of your income. Yes, 36%. So if you spend 50% of your monthly salary just on rent, for example, I'm sorry to inform you that your cost of living is way above ideal. But the good news is that there's a solution for everything. The fact that you're here right now watching this video on personal finance already demonstrates that you're looking for a change. In that case, I suggest you explore ways to reduce expenses and make more money. The remaining 20% out of the 70% will be for you to spend on whatever you want. If you want to travel, eat out, party with your friends, get your hair done, subscribe to Amazon Prime, Netflix, HBO Max, what else? Spend on online games or books, it will all come out from this 20%. The best thing is that you don't owe anyone an explanation. This money is yours to spend as you please. Go be happy. So now using dollar amounts. In short, if you earn $4,000 a month, $2,000 goes towards your needs and $800 is for you to spend as you see fit. The sum of the two will total 70% of your monthly income that should be assigned for the present. To finish up, you got 30% of your income left, which will be used to achieve your goals. Whether it is to pay off your debts, set up your emergency fund, invest for your retirement or financial freedom or any other plan you have. How will you allocate this money? 15% will go towards your retirement. The remaining 15% is for your short and intermediate goals. So for example, suppose that one of these are your goals. You want to fully fund your emergency fund, you want to pay off your debt, you want to save for a down payment on a house. All of this will come out of the 15% that are allocated for your short and intermediate goals. But of course, you must pick your priorities and decide which goal will be accomplished first. A very common question I often see is regarding the retirement contribution. Some people already contribute to a 401k at work, so they wonder whether they should count that contribution towards their investing goal of 15%. Yes, include what you contribute at work, but don't include your employer's match. The 15% contribution for retirement has to come from you. And if your employer matches it, even better. Another question that may arise after you watch this video is, can I change this 70-30 rule and adjust it according to my needs? Yes, you can. I know this technique may not work for everyone, but at least try to use it as a guide and adjust accordingly. For example, let's say that you live in your parents' house, which is already paid off, and your essential expenses correspond to 40% of your monthly salary. In this case, you would have 10% left to allocate to another category like your short-term goals. Or let's say that 50% is not enough to cover your needs, but after analyzing your expenses, you decide to buy fewer clothes this year and meal prep instead of eating out every day. And now there's money left from the spend as you wish bucket that you can use to cover the essentials. But regardless of how you adjust your budget, I suggest that you save at least 30% of your monthly income for the future. Okay, Natasha, you explained, but I have no idea where I fit into this. My financial life is a mess and I don't know where to start. Well, the first step is to calm down. The second step is to grab a piece of paper and write down all your fixed expenses. Fixed expenses are the ones that you have every month and that the amount doesn't change. For example, rent, insurance, and subscriptions. For those expenses that don't have a fixed amount, you will track them during 1 month. So you will look at your bank statements, credit card statements, receipts, and estimate all cash purchases. As you do this, you will create categories for each purchased item. And at the end of the month, you will know what your cost of living is, how much you spend on unnecessary things, how much you invest, and so on. For this to work in the long run, you must have a system in place, but keep the process simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Let me show you some ways to do that. The first thing is to take advantage of automatic transfers and payments. So say you will be saving for retirement and building an emergency fund. Schedule an automatic transfer from your bank to your investment and high-yield savings account according to your payday. Or if your goal is to pay off your credit card, set up monthly payments. This way, you will be always on track. When it comes to tracking how much you spend on your needs and wants, there are many approaches you can choose from. Some people use spreadsheets to record all their income and expenses. Others prefer to use a planner because they enjoy writing everything down on paper. And there are those who choose to use budget apps on their phone. I have tried all these systems and they all worked great for me, but I like to change things up every year or so. So I am currently not using any of this. Instead, what I'm doing is having 2 checking accounts. In one of them, I deposit the 20% I can spend as I wish. And in the other, I keep the cash I need to cover the essentials. This way, I'm not overspending and can easily keep track of my balance. And that's what's working for me right now. So find what works best for you, whether by creating your own system or following one that already exists. But remember that the ultimate goal is to not spend more than you earn. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment sections below. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.